very anxious to play against Tempo Storm.
Oh, yeah.
The opportunities are far and few between to play against NA's finest, this being one of them, and a lot is on the line right now.
Points, money, pride, and we're going to see a very intense game, I'm sure of it. The first ban is for Tempo Storm. They're thinking about it, dipping well into that bonus pool already, and it's going to be Leoric.
A similar situation, Cognitive had the first pick last game. They also banned out Leoric. Tempo Storm had responded with a Zeratul ban. Cognitive now faced with the same dilemma, the same decision. Do we also ban out Zeratul? Two very respectable Zeratul players on either side for their melee assassins, Zuna and Glaurung. What is the play? Do they give it to them? Do they have a response in mind if that scenario arises, if Tempo Storm picks it first? We saw that having both mages in that back line, it did wonders, and it had that late game pressure. Forced a lot of aggressive plays from Cognitive. Sometimes they panned out. Sometimes Tempo Storm was able to capitalize. Zagara is taken out of the playing field. Does Tempo Storm grab the Zeratul?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Glaurung's very comfortable on him, and just force it, deny it. We know how strong Zuna can be on Zeratul, and there it is. So this is a scenario where we're probably going to see Cognitive putting Glaurung on Falstad. They do have the potential to run Butcher, but I almost expect Tempo Storm to get in early Tyrande here. Uther will be... No, Uther. Yep, sorry. I thought about it for 1 second. It's like, it has to be Kel'Thas Uther. Uther did too much for them in that last game. Tyrande ban could be on the table, though, because Cog is very strong with that hero.
Tempo Storm already setting up for a very strong post-16 with Zeratul to finish off those targets, getting hit by the Ignited Flame Strike. I want to see something that is very early game focused for Cognitive.
Do you think Asmodee could be played here? It's Cursed Hollow. It's one of his weaker maps. Do you think that warrants a ban? Or would it be stronger to ban Tyrande? Or Abathur?
I personally do not like the thought of Cognitive running for Asmodee here.
Okay.
But that's just a personal thing. I just don't like seeing it played on this battleground.
So maybe
it's too large, too much space between the maps. The curse attributes that pop up draw too much attention away from the actual laning. It works well on Tomb because the objective that you need to take control of is right there. It's right between the lanes.
Right,
and oftentimes we see teams, they'll grab the Asmodee in here and they fall behind in the stacking.
It's so hard to soak. They ban it regardless. They respect the threat that could exist, and they take out Asmodee. Cognitive now has the next two pickups for their team. They could do Tyrande Butcher, but they do go Abathur Malfurion, and they're going to be doing a little bit more of that soaking with Abathur, and the hat on Johanna is incredibly powerful.
It could be Butcher.
Definitely within the realms of possibility.
There's two bosses.
They have
I'm thinking back to when they had Abathur Butcher on Blackheart's Bay. Cognitive did this, and they took the boss very early.
It's true.
Something that could be, at the very least, posing that threat for Tempo Storm.
It's something Glaurung is very confident on as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is
one of his favorite heroes.
By a long shot. All right.
The big question, and I can almost guarantee the answer is no, but would Tempo Storm grab Butcher in this scenario?
No.
Just to deny it?
I think
they wouldn't.
I could see them still grabbing Tyrande, just for vision. You can just kind of scout out the bosses and stuff like that.
A noob.
They go for a noob. He's been doing well for them.
A noob
They
Tyrael?
can't get murdered in, but Tyrael or Arthas. I like Arthas a lot on this battleground.
A lot is on the line. This is game 3, lower bracket finals. Winner of this match advances to face Complexity in the grand finals. Needs to take two out of 3 series.
They're guaranteed $250 right now, though, so the difference changes a lot.
Vala is the final pick.
Yeah, you're right. 2 best of 3s. That's a tall order. It's considering how strong Complexity looks right now.
Are they setting up for Butcher play? What else could it be? Let's theorycraft a bit. I'm leaning towards that Butcher play.
Could be Falstad. Glaurung likes Falstad a lot. Who would he be playing in this scenario? That's something we have to ask ourselves. We know these players. Butcher, Falstad.
I like Glaurung's Falstad, but not here. It's a decent map but the rest of the composition just I'm not feeling it. It's not aggressive enough. It doesn't challenge the late game of Tempo Storm, and it doesn't have the early game that might put them on the back foot. What? This is something we see this a lot in EU.
Oh.
NA almost never.
I don't like this. Every time we've seen this tried in NA, specifically against something like Uther, it struggles. It really does. He doesn't have the unstoppable with his kit anymore. And
3 stuns available for Tempo Storm.
I mean, Gravity Laughs, they could
Impale,
go Divine Storm.
Burrow
but
Charge,
they won't.
Hammer of Justice, Divine Storm is a possibility.
Rain of Vengeance, there's actually...
Rain of Vengeance too. Yeah,
Void Prison, there's a million
sure.
options.
There's a lot of ways to control Illidan. There's the possibility for 2 imposing presence on Anubarak and Uther.
Yep. This is
an incredible gambit that Cognitive is taking.
Now, here's pretty much what's going to happen. If the Illidan pans out, and they manage to get an early level advantage,
yep,
he is going to be really, really hard to stop. But if they fall behind Tempo Storm, it's all but lights out. Because Illidan behind just doesn't have that same kind of sustainability. The stats don't add up. He needs that 20%. He has 20% damage dealt for healing, and it just doesn't. It's so hard to fight his Illidan. But we're going to find out what they can do here in the final game with Cognitive on the blue side. Hospital playing Jaina, Shot on Abathur. Sylal playing Johanna. It's going to be Iacona on Malfurion, and Glaurung on Illidan. They're just getting their hands warmed up, shouting at each other in their GG LAN center.
That's right. On the right side, Dreadnought will be on Uther. We're going to have Arthlon on Kael'thas once more. Soldier will be playing Anubarak. Zuna on Zeratul. In the bottom lane, KO is on Vala. Together they form Tempo Storm. Back in action.
Back in action.
After the...
Looking very strong in that last game that we just saw.
So there's 3... No, there's 2. There's 2 good targets for Ultimate Evolution. Jaina and Illidan both are very, very good targets. The hat is powerful on Illidan and Johanna.
Yes, and that's
there are synergies there.
Yeah, of course, definitely. It's not like Illidan doesn't make sense. It's just, will it pan out? He's not what he once was. Metamorphosis got nerfed, and he lost his Unstoppable, and immediately they're going for the aggression onto him. Not going to follow up with a kill, but they're just saying, look, you're not safe.
Illidan isn't exactly known for gank potential. He's good at murking early.
He's great at murking, and they can abuse that.
Tempo Storm may make aggressive plays because they can expect that to be the style that they're looking for. But just without the extra stuns that we see on some of the other melee assassins, they don't have the strength for that ganking style.
Oh my
Unstoppable
goodness.
has to be popped the Iron
Dreadnought
Skin. The body blocks.
down, and that will be an early takedown on Johanna. Tempo Storm is just, they have eyes on every moment. The moment that he left the lane, we saw pings going out. KO said he might be leaving, and they just rotated and picked him off in an instant.
This is the Abathur hat that is soaking in this bottom lane. There are no bodies physically down there. Shot rotates in, and Zuna looking to go in from behind.
Oh.
The Flame Strike is there. Zuna.
They need to apply a bit more of that poke. Living Bomb going on the
Starting
wall.
to take that wall
He's
down.
moving
Shot.
in,
He's
moving
feeling
in.
scared.
He knows. He knows. He sees. Oh, that nice reaction. Throwing his symbiote on that wall, and they're rotating down to respond. Zeratul blinks out. The Condemned goes in. Illidan going in with the form Glaurung, and that is a nice turnaround. But Glaurung, does he survive? Living Bomb, not enough damage. The hat will sustain him.
Zuna has overextended. Has he? No, not quite.
Not quite. He's going to live.
Okay, that was really good counterplay, though.
Yeah.
Hatting the fort to get the extra
That's
range
so
on the... he's got the pressurized glance as well. That forced Zuna to the edge of the wall. He said, okay, this is too much. I can't stay in here for too long. It just makes it too easy for a rotation for the rest of Cognitive to rotate down. That's exactly what happened. Zuna did end up living, but we had...
Oh, Glaurung goes immediately over to Zuna. The bolt comes out. The heal from Uther there just in time. Projective shield also thrown out here for Zuna. Glaurung gonna end up falling. KO has rotated up. Zuna looks like might fall again, but the stun from Uther at the last moment. And Sylal is also gonna end up falling here. Hospital, a bit of a predicament for himself. The cleave goes out. The blink away.
Wow.
And it's a 3-0 for Tempo Storm.
That is a strong early game if I've ever seen one. The rotations, keeping everyone alive. Rotating out Zuna, knowing that he still has the chance, even with that less than 5% HP to go in and continue to put pressure on the back line. This will net an a very easy early tribute for Tempo Storm.
At this moment, Zuna is feeling super confident. He's dove in multiple times with no health, and he's just getting a lot of big pickups. Dread making amazing plays. The rotations, the map presence from KO and Arthlon have been on point, and Soldier being a rock-solid pillar in the top. They have nearly a half-level advantage at this point in time, and they do have the first tribute of the game, but Cognitive, they can bring this back.
Forcing the burrow charge out. The Roots whipping. Condemn whiffs. Glaurung has got the hat on. They're looking to put some structural pressure on at the very least. Don't think they have the tools to punish Soldier for an overextension. Does still have burrow charge back off cooldown. This will catch them up in experience. I think that's really the goal.
Yeah.
They want to match level 7 before the next tribute pops.
It's smart, but it's kind of the same idea here in the bottom. They're just going to say, all right, well, if you're going to put that much presence in the top, Shock does have to be a little bit careful here. He does actually disengage his symbiote to make sure that he is perfectly safe to do this. Soldier having a solid defense, but the Giants have started to chip away at this top fort.
Rotation. It would seem as though the collapse would be favorable for Tempo Storm at this point. And that's exactly what we're going to see.
Yes. KO will be there well in time. Dreadnought.
They're giving it up.
Yeah,
Cognitive. They know.
No contention.
A lot of pressure being put onto the top fort, regardless.
We got to talk about the mule as well. Abathur did go for that, and that's one small benefit they're going to have in this game. Flamestrike was actually thrown out to take care of it. And yeah, they have this pressure here, actually healing up that Giant to try to sustain it. One more shot from the Temple would take it out, but the minion is there. Zuna just going to cleave it to clean up those Giants.
Battle of the melee assassins.
This is
looking to put pressure onto Zuna.
They can't save it. There's no way. It's actually too risky. Zuna could end up falling here.
Glaurung dashing forward, and the Needle Spines, yes, he will be taking out Soldier, trying to put some pressure on with the burrow charge. Look how confident Glaurung is with this Abathur hat. He'll dive over the wall if he has to.
He actually has to back up, get the heals and the protective shield from Dread. Dread should still have a stun available. Yes, throws that out. Impale going to provide a lot of damage onto Abathur from those two towers. The Soldier has to go back to base.
No mana left, yeah.
And they do get the fort, so...
How confident was that play, though?
Beautiful. That's what they have to do. That's going to be a
Didn't get a lot of takedowns out of it, but more importantly, positioning. They're able to stop this final tribute.
They forced 3 members out, killed 1. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
That's all fine and good, but what happens after level 10, Jake?
I honestly think we're going to see Hunt.
The Hunt.
I don't know if meta makes sense. If you can hunt and you can get a big takedown onto Kael'thas in the backline, maybe it's worth it. There's no ice block available. He's vulnerable. I really don't know what else.
But the Divine Shield is always going to be a problem.
True.
The cleanse.
Yeah. So
I'm so curious to see what these pickups are going to be for the heroics. And you know, they could even go for Web Blast just to deal with Illidan. That's not going to be the case. We're going to see a Strafe, Void Prison, Divine Shield, Phoenix, and the Locust Swarm.
Glaurung just scouting out, does get eyes on Tempo Storm. You see multiple pings going out, so they're well aware. They are posturing around here, trying to find the rotation.
It is meta.
Yeah, it is going to be Metamorphosis, Tranquility, Divine Shield, Blessed Shield,
yeah.
and
just there's too many responses to the hunt.
Okay. Well,
as much as you know, it may be starting to creep into the meta. What little times we do see Illidan.
Look, they just have eyes everywhere on the map. Even though he's stealth, he doesn't show up on the minimap. They're watching through their watchtower. They see Zuna. They're pinging at every possible scenario.
Next tribute spawns. Tempo Storm getting into the aggressive position for it. Iacona looking to just throw down the aggressive roots.
They want the tribute. They want the curse. They're body
aggroing the Giants.
The Moonfire is successful.
Just the fact that they aggroed the Bruisers there is putting so much pressure onto Iacona.
Alright, but the Metamorphosis goes down. We see Zuna does end up bolting out of it. Phoenix being thrown in a great position, but Strafe is on cooldown and didn't really do all that much. Buying time with that root. This Frostbolt comes out, connecting with Dreadnought, but Dread's not here to heal Arthalon. Divine Shield VP. At the last moment.
A defensive VP, I like that, just to sort of buy time for Hospital. Yes, Iacona will be able to get into position with the Tranquility, and Tempo Storm is backing up. I thought for sure that they had enough damage output to contest this, but they're going to give up.
All right,
it'll be tied 2-2 for the tributes.
Close game thus far. Another pack of Giants being a massive thorn in their side, but they're starting on the boss. Well, Illidan has the same idea. Glaurung with Hospital and the help of the Abathur Hat of Iacona will start this out. Iacona, totally not Iacona.
Giants being collected on either side. I mean, excuse me, Golem. Yep.
And it's going to be Glaurung getting it first. Now they're rotating up aggressively. Void Prison well away. Nowhere near being ready for battle here. And they're going to have to throw someone up in the front line. They have Dreadnought to buy time, throwing that stun out. They pick up the boss. Do they just full on retreat? No, they dash forward, a bit aggressive, throwing out the Blizzard. Going to be a disengage.
Still have the soak in the bottom lane from Shot on the Abathur. Who is going to be the team to defend? Maybe both? Seems to be the case thus far.
Yeah, we see that we have both Uther and Kael'thas, as well as Anub, and actually the entire team is pretty much going bottom except for Zeratul, who's just soaking in the middle of the map, wants to stay up to par in terms of experience. Illidan in the jungle, while we have two members here defending the Golem in the top lane.
They're able to clean this up rather quickly.
Oh no.
And this could actually be a fort going down, yes?
I think it's going to be close.
It'll be very close. They'll do a lot to go to 13, and that's a big deal, considering this tribute is tied up 2-2.
All right.
Whichever team can possibly nail down that advantage. I don't think it's really going to be either.
Too. All right, well, 13 is going to be very close. We do see the roots being thrown out, but Cleanse was used by Dreadnought, so this will cool down for 25 more seconds. Shot diving in, but that is a clone. It will fall very quickly.
That is very unfortunate. Level 13 for either team is going to be some defensive abilities picked up. We're going to have things like Wormhole, Shrink Ray, Ice Blocks.
Oh, they got it. They got it. Beautiful zoning there. KO in the top lane. Forces them back. That's a curse for Tempo Storm.
There's the evasion. We're not actually going to have the Soma transference on Abathur. There's likely going to be the ranged Locust shots, just to provide that extra lane presence.
All right. Marching down this middle lane while this curse is active. Zeratul fighting Glaurung. Zuna not going to be happy to take that fight with the help of the Afterhand. Very unfavorable for Zeratul to try to do that.
What is going to be the defense? We see Glaurung defending in the bottom lane. This fort will go down for sure. Top lane, Shot working hard to defend that. He has the mule down.
Zuna's
looking for the pressure. Yeah,
he wants Shot. He knows he's here. He's sitting there. Currently
That's
vulnerable.
It. He's done.
He gets eyes in, but yes, he is going to go down. A good pickup by Zuna. This is going to have Tempo Storm rotate down to the bottom while Zuna's here putting some pressure on. He should actually kill the mule. Doesn't end up going for that. Just going to be getting to a safe spot. Once he sees Silo, he should just end up leaving. Yep.
It's so close to having the ultimate evolution off cooldown, and that would have been a very quick escape for him to pop that onto a hero immediately. Did not quite time out that well. We do see Shot falling. Look at this, they have a curse, and they were able to lock down two of these structures in the melee assassin battle once more. Zuna is able to dodge over the wall.
Oh, but the Moonfire and the Root do end up connecting, metamorphosing into battle. Void Prison has to be used.
Flawlessly
one heroic
placed.
for one heroic. Very nice plays.
I feel like in that case, it's just like Glaurung is like someone's like grabbing him by the shirt. He's like, no, let me at him, let me at him, let me at him.
Pretty much. Probably the best way to put it. The stakes are so high right now. You can tell how tense these players are in this game. They want to advance to the Grand Finals for the shot against Complexity. We see the mercenary camps being collected, stalling out this capture on the Giants. They're going to capture them simultaneously. Once these bruisers fall, we'll see one capture, and then Dread should step on over. No, he's stalling it even further.
I think it's going to be still some time before the next tribute's up.
Is he trying to bait them to come fight him? No, I guess not. All right. There they go.
Interesting play. Level 16, just around the corner for Tempo Storm. Power Spike. Zeratul Kael'thas becomes a lot more scary.
Yeah, it's an understatement at that point. I mean, especially the way these fights have been going. Zeratul gets low quick, it seems. And it's going to be even scarier for him now. The soak will happen in just a moment. There it is. 16 for Tempo Storm. Blood for blood. Ignite. Blood for blood. Stone Skin. He's going for safety.
Benediction.
Actually, I respect that. And then Benediction.
That's fine. I mean, the double bombs or the Rending Cleave, that's not so critical. You get that down. There's enough spells to rotate. Even just blinking in triggers one of the effects of the follow through. Throwing down the cleave and the bombs after. It's rare that you have that much more time to sit around on top of a target to dish out that damage, to go for the safety. I'm fine with that.
20,
sort of a Zuna preference thing.
20-ish seconds for both of the bosses at this point in time. So that's going to be the next big point of contention.
Posing.
And it's a tribute away from a curse for Cognitive. Imposing? Vala. A noob. Yeah, I think it's a fair choice. Even Kael'thas has pretty strong auto attacks.
checking the bushes.
There's the boss. Ooh, this is...
Wow.
This is...
Really, Temple. They're just trying to force them forward, I suppose.
Dread marches in. They want to set up a big Void Prison, maybe? A intriguing play, to say the least. But they do get the curse. Dreadnought does, or Zuna does have to use that wormhole to back on out. The boss is very low. They want to force a fight here, but currently Temple Storm is cursed. This is a bit of a strange scenario. Flame Strikes are a very powerful aspect shot on Jaina this time around, getting quite low. The boss, VP in a great spot, stalling it out, but Arthlon down to one hit, strafe in the front, hitting everyone on the side of Cognitive, but no one has fallen yet. Arthlon is being chased by Glaurung, will end up going down, but the rest of his team has been picked apart in the process. The Roots there, taking out Uther. He can heal from Ghost Form, and Temple Storm will successfully defend their boss, taking a 4-2 loss.
Arthlon, the only member of Temple Storm to fall out there. We see Shot trying to soak in the bottom lane at the very least. He is hearting out. He knows that he's going to be under some pressure soon.
This is big. That's a lot of pressure. That's going to do a lot, so much for them. Even with this boss here, can Tempo successfully go get the other enemy's boss? No, they have to defend this curse. Oh, they're going for it though. All right, the Beatles do have the extra sustain.
It's going to take them a bit to get there. Jaina, back up very momentarily.
And they opt to leave. The
yeah,
mines come out.
Their mines going in, yes.
And they're suddenly they've got multiple keeps being pressured. The power of Abathur and the curse combined, pushing out these lanes severely. Tempo Storm does have a golem, but it's been defended pretty much solo by this golem, and the fact that curse was inactive or active against them.
Glaurung will be able to clean that up very quickly. So structurally, things are very close.
Yes, it's
experience-wise, not too far off, just that half level, but it's past that 16. And they haven't shown that the team fights are necessarily going to go in their favor. They did put a lot of pressure onto Arthlon. They were able to take him out in that last fight, but
it's going to be the focus.
More or less at the expense of so many members on Cognitive trying to occupy that space that is the golem.
Yeah. All right, well, we do see Giants for Tempest from in the bottom lane. That'll push that out. Zuna has nicely pushed out the top lane, but Giants will just do just the opposite. Temple Storm now realizing that the only big point for fighting over is that boss. Mines do have the scouting information, just telling Cognitive at every moment. Oh, very
he blinks in. He even just saw the apparition that was.
He just hearthed away.
Shot on the Abathur.
That would have been big. And he's actually going to reveal Zuna. I don't think they'll end up rotating up towards him. It's going to be very hard to catch him in this scenario. Soldier keeping eyes on the boss in the bottom lane while the rest of the team does capture this mercenary camp.
So much on the line for both these teams. All the forts are down. Some of these next fights that are coming up can mean the difference between dropping out early in third place for the final Kings of the Storm or getting their chance to go up against Complexity in the grand finals.
Yeah, this is it. It's the final game, but all the keeps still stand. Abathur really proving his worth in this game thus far, constantly keeping Temple Storm rotating, looking for the takedowns. But Tempo has managed to maintain a lead even with the soak that he can provide. And it has now been a reset curse count, tribute count. This is the 7th tribute of the game.
Why would you do this to yourself?
Don't know.
Okay, we do have level 20. The Storm Talents are available. Redemption on Uther. So rewind this time. Something that would have probably proved quite valuable for Glaurung in that last game. Didn't quite have the mobility to stay alive. Zuna showing that he has that preference. 2 bolts, 4 Vala and Kel'Thas. What we expected to see in the Hardened Shield on a Nubarak.
Yeah, but 20 is just about here. We actually see Zuna going over the wall. We see the ping coming out from Silal. Just saying, hey, you know what? Zeratil's right here. They're not going to engage until level 20 is reached, but it is so very close.
It was an interesting bit of positioning there.
Is it going to be Hive Mind?
Yeah, they are going for it. So we saw that Temple Storm was actually trying to bait Cognitive into moving down because they thought they were going to push the golem with that at 20 advantage. Cog didn't bite.
They're playing very smart, very passive right now. Zeratul is across the map, and there are no Shadow Assault bugs that will allow him to quickly get down here into the bottom lane right now.
So this is going to be a 4-person tribute. And look at the position that Glaurung is in. Do you see this, Jake? Look at that. Yeah. They're looking to get this bait on him. They know he's there. This is the type of move that Glaurung likes to make the metamorphosis. No, he's got the bolt. Throw the juke! Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Silal looking to try it. Does he have the No, he doesn't have the blessed shield. That was incredible.
They don't have eyes on. Glaurung finds him. He does put the hat on, blinking on in. This time they're expecting that. Does retreat after the roots come out.
The whole
Zuna
time.
What is going on? Rewind to blink again. That this time Metamorphosis has expired. All the while, Tempo Storm has been working on this boss. It's been a massive just dance where Zuna has bought so much time for the team. Johanna steps on the point with a big condemn, trying to buy time.
The back line has to use the ice block. Yes, he does. Okay, we have the Blizzard throwing a lot of pressure down onto Zuna. The Void Prison is good. It's on point. The Indestructible gets popped. Tranquility is out. They need to keep Style alive. We need to get Iacona over there, not before he falls. Glaurung looking to be the person to hold this, and the Sweeping Strike actually pushes them too far off. That is going to be the goal. I'm going the way of Tempo Storm, and I think they have this. They have a 2-0 victory. They just barely get the Bolt of the Storm over the wall, but shot.
Wow.
That is, of course, the Abathur clone.
Zuna is actually looking for Glaurung. The heal goes off. He blinks it. Throws down the cleave. The Singularity Spike not going to be enough today. Malfurion will be able to keep him up.
This isn't quite game yet.
It's not, but
it's going to put a lot of pressure. They're going to get this keep very likely.
They have 3 members standing, but it's going to be very difficult to stay alive. After trying to get some split push up in the top lane, that's the right call to make, but the keep is going to fall.
Abathur's still pushing in the top lane. Just keep an eye on that. They're likely going to... Oh, maybe they are pushing in for this. Just another 20 seconds. Yeah, the Hive Mind, I don't think it's going to be enough to hold these guys off.
Cleanse already used.
So Tempo Storm is going for the throat.
All right, Zuna trying to defend. Void Prison on cooldown. Strafe is the only heroic up for Tempo, but it looks like they've done it. They're going to advance to the grand finals for the rematch versus Complexity. I do not believe it, Kubi. Impeccable play.
GG from Zuna. All right, good sports all around. An incredible series. Tempo Storm taking the quick 2-0.
Yeah.
Even after that DQ in Game 1, they're back. They're ready to go. On point.
What a very tense match. That last dance at the end was... they responded perfectly. Most teams would say, we have to save Zeratul. We have to save Zeratul. Zuna said, no, I've got Rewind, I've got Blink, I've got Wormhole, I can juke these kids all day. And Tempo Storm started working on the boss. Johanna realized it, tried to buy time, but they just had the right plays.
It's the reason they did have the 2 heroes up there. They figured that the Wormhole would play a factor, and if Glaurung overextended, the Wormhole is going to be used. But the tricky thing is, too, if you blink and then hit Rewind, the Wormhole it's overwrites the cooldown.
Right.
And it's becomes so awkward. It just goes to show how experienced Zuna is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's be able to make all those types of jukes around is just, it was awesome. It was really cool to see. And you're right, the response from Tempo Storm was the best thing that they could have done. Zuna buying so much time, and then had the leg up on the rotation to get back down to help the rest of the team. The Void Prison, everything.
Oh gosh, it was
well
impeccable.
executed.
Impeccable
well
play.
executed.
All right, guys. Well, on that note, we're going to get ready for the grand finals between Tempo Storm and Complexity. Now, Complexity won in the upper bracket. That means 1 best of 3 for them, and it's over. Tempo Storm, they have to win 2 best of 3s to take the title here. We're going to find out very soon. So get on social media, let your friends know this is all going down, and we'll be back in just a few moments.